What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be working on putting the car back together. I do have some things in the interior that I need to do, like cut out where the shifter is, just because the engine is a little higher or a little further forward than it used to be. So I need to cut out that section so that way I can shift and then put all those pieces back together. Probably clean up the wiring a little bit more. But before I do that, I have the headlights that I want to go and reseal, because the last time I used a white silicone to seal it up and it looks pretty jank, just because I can see it through where the grill is in the front of the car, and when I lift up my hood you can see that it has that white sealant on, and I feel like it would just look a lot better being black. So I'm gonna do that first, and then after that dries I can start putting the rest of the front end together, but that's what I'm gonna be working on first. I already went ahead and took off one of the lenses. I'm just gonna take all this silicone off, all the old ones, just because putting on the new one, it'll probably look a lot cleaner if I take the time and take the old one off first. I'm pretty sure that this should be enough for the shifter to clear, because it's not even bolted up right now and it can go all the way back without hitting anything. So I'm pretty sure that once everything is bolted up it should be good. I also went to AutoZone and picked up some gear oil. I don't know if transmission fluid is way off from this, but I asked the guy at AutoZone and he laughed at me. He said, no, you're looking for gear oil. So I guess there's a big difference. I'm not too sure, but this is the one that I got for my car. I have about half of this one left too. So I'm thinking that this should fill it all the way up. Also, the wiring is good. It looks like a mess right now and it looks super unorganized, but I'm going to try to kind of consolidate some of the wires and try to make it look a little bit nicer in here so I can put the glove box back. This section is almost back to the OEM spec. I did push all the wires into that little panel right there. It's just a little bit too much things down there where there's this little space right here. It's not that big of a deal. I would like to close it if I can. I'm going to see if I can push it in just a little bit more. But if not, it's not that big of a deal. This section was kind of what I was more worried about. Now I can kind of clean up all this other mess that's over here. It's a huge mess. when I got this car, I had all the original trims and nothing was cracked, but unfortunately this radial trim cracked because the double din is a little bit too big. It pushes out too much forward, so it cracked this whole thing. I do have another one that I'm going to replace it with, but I want to make sure that I can fit this in first, so I just drilled it out just a little bit. Hopefully it gives it enough clearance for the trim so it doesn't crack the new one. The interior is back together. It's starting to look like my car again. I was kind of getting discouraged just because it was such a huge mess in here, and trying to figure out the wiring, I messed everything up in here. So it's nice to have it back to how it was originally. So the only thing that I do have left to hook up in here is the airlift controller. I do have the fan switch right there where I think it's a cigarette tray or the coin tray is right there. So that's just temporary for now, but it doesn't look too bad for the meantime. I was having an issue with the seats that I had inside this car. Not really the seats itself, but the brackets. The brackets were too far back, so I couldn't reach the pedals, and when we tried to flip it around to make it shorter, the seats would slide back when I try to drive, and it's pretty dangerous, especially having the new engine in here. I don't want to drive it like that, because it happened about 3 or 4 times with the KA, and luckily I don't drive this car too far, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it's just a safety thing. So I don't have the seats in right now. If you guys have any recommendations on brackets that are a little bit more towards the front, or sit the seat up closer to the steering wheel, let me know, because I need to find a solution, and I kind of want to put the seats back in here as soon as possible. If not, I'll just throw in the S14 seats that originally came in this car for now, just so that way I can drive it. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for hanging out with us. I know that this is one UZ build. It's taking kind of a long time to complete, but it's just all these little things here and there that we kind of didn't account for. And this is our first swap, so it might take us a little longer than if we knew what we were doing, pretty much. But yeah, we appreciate you guys watching, coming back, subscribing, all that. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay good.